All right, it's time to party with a purpose. This is another video in the series of 4 for new consultants. Again, if you are coming to my local Eau Claire Success event or where I might be holding one-on-one with you, you can skip this video. But I'm going to give you all of my tips on having a super successful Mary Kay party. I'm also going to encourage you to think these 2 thoughts. 1, conducting a party is a skill. I can tell you my first parties, they were okay. I didn't do them at the comfort level I do now. It took time and it took practice. So give yourself at least 2 or 3 months to get really rock solid with your party presentation. It may go faster for you based on your experience in life, or it may just take that long. It did for me because I didn't come into this business with hardly any public speaking ability. I didn't have very much experience with the product. I used the skincare and the 2 lightest brown eyeshadows, Spun Silk being one of them, if you want to take a peek at that color we still have, for 2 weeks. So I didn't really have a lot of product knowledge, and I had been to 1.5 parties. 1 I hosted, 1 I went to and left early. Remember, didn't buy anything, took my daughter, not super focused. So I really want to encourage you to be patient with yourself and to utilize a lot of tools to build this skill. You'll find in your starter kit a DVD, which I really encourage you to watch. Take notes. There's an instructor's guide that comes along with the beauty books that you got in your starter kit. Use that as your Mary Kay presentation guide. Customize it for yourself. I'm also sending you a series of CDs that you can listen to again and again and again so that you can really get good at doing your party. I encourage you to choose at least 2 other people to go to a live party with. You'll see that there's quite a difference from the skincare class CD that came in your, or DVD that came in your starter kit. You may view a party at a training center or a hotel where you have a really controlled environment, and then go into someone's home where there's kids and cats and dogs and, you know, refreshments being served and maybe a little bit of a cocktail break in the midst of it. It has an interesting dynamic. But what I know for sure is that when I go to a party, there are 3 things that I focus on. 1, that everyone has a good time. That's most important, because if they don't have a good time, they're probably not ever coming back. Number 2, that they look good. Now, there are certainly times that I've hit home runs, and there are times I've been like, ooh, wipe that off. I don't think that looks like we want it to. Just know that when you're completely honest and you're working towards helping them look good, that's what's important. And then the 3rd thing is that you build a relationship with them so that you like each other. If they like you, they're going to want to come see you again. So if they like the product, they like you, they have a good time, your business is moving forward. Now, what are you focusing on? Well, you're focusing on selling skincare sets. You're focusing on adding new appointments to your date book. That's probably the top thing, because if you see someone multiple times, you're going to establish them as great customers. And the 3rd thing is you're looking for potential new team members. So everything I'm going to share with you in this video is going to be built around those 2 conversations. The relationship piece to it, the fun piece, and the results piece. And I think that there are 5 things you want to do at every single party that you hold. Again, skill-based, you're pulling it together, and you're learning as you go and getting paid for it by people still purchasing products. My very first party, I can tell you I wasn't very professionally dressed. I think I had on my beauty coat and slippers. And they were like big fuzzy slippers. It was my mom, my grandma, and my youngest sister, who was 13 at the time. And I had not been to any new consultant education. I just opened up all my stuff because my husband pretty much forced me out of the study and said, you have 8 boxes of inventory right here. Perhaps you want to start holding some appointments. And they spent about $150 or $200. It was my first appointment. I didn't even know when you lifted up the top copy of the customer profile card that it told you what products to give to your customers? No, I just guessed. I guess I guessed right. My mom is probably one of my best customers. But I really, really encourage you to take on this business and this presentation part as a skill you're building. Like playing the piano, learning to play a sport, learning to play a musical instrument, it's a skill. So what are the 5 things that you're going to focus on? 1 is a great eye story. Share with people a little bit about you. How can they like you if they don't know you? How can they support a goal if you don't share a goal with them? So that's one piece. You also want to play some type of booking game, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. You want to play some type of marketing game. You want to have a set sheet so that you can have a great way to close your party, and you want to play a referral game. Working those things is going to create great results for you. Now I know if you just started to cringe when you heard the word game, sister, we march in the same parade. I'm not so sure that I initially embraced the fact that women like to play games. But in this day and age, they are looking for fun, distracting, even a little bit silly things to do. And you can make it as crazy or as reserved as you want based on your personality, but I'm telling you, by making them into games, it makes it lighter, it makes it more fun. It doesn't make anyone feel like you are like, hey, we're playing a marketing game and I'm going to tell you about Mary Kay. You're making it into a game. So attached to an email you're going to receive along with hearing this video or coming to this education with me are some documents that support doing all those things. So you're going to get a guest list and an outside order sheet that you can add to a hostess packet. Now I do less and less hostess packets because I do less and less mailing of postcard invitations for parties. I still do some, but so many more people do a text message, a Facebook invite, an e-card invite. So there's just that occasional time that I send out postcards, but I do provide a sheet for them to write down those names and addresses on. I also include an outside order sheet. You can just include sales tickets if you want to, but always encourage your hostess to get some more orders. You can walk into a party and she might have $200 or $300 in outside orders before you've even said hello to the rest of the guests. It's planting that seed. That might not happen if you don't plant the seed. It can't though. So that's some things that I include. I also am going to send you the cards that I use for Deal or No Deal, and you're going to see that at a party. You're going to see that at an appointment. So Deal or No Deal is a great booking game. It's kind of a little spin off of the game show. I have labels that go on the back of those cards, and I'm telling you, if you're like, I don't have a printer, I don't know what to use, you can take envelopes, put sheets of paper inside of them, use the envelopes, and they pull out that sheet of paper. You can keep it as absolutely simple as it works for you. So Deal or No Deal labels, Deal or No Deal postcards, 10 Perfect Reasons, which is the marketing game that I play, a foundation conversion chart so that you know which foundation shade is lighter or darker, because they don't go numerically, but you can build your way up. So Ivory 6, the next shade up is Beige 3, the next shade up is Beige 4, so you just want to be aware of kind of how they go up incrementally. Also my set sheet, that's the last thing. My set sheet is going to be an email that you're going to see as well. So those are all the pieces that you're going to see that I use at a party. For referrals, I often use the back of the profile card because there's a spot for 7 referrals on the back of our current profile card. You might find something else that has space for 10 or 15 or 20 and play a much larger referral game. I do that sometimes too when I want to work, when I need new referrals. So if you're coming into the business and you're like, okay, I know 6 people in my zip code and in like this whole part of the state, you are going to want to work that referral part hard. And it doesn't mean that you have to give a lot away. It can be per size hand creams, per size mascaras, which are like 50 to 60 cents each for filling up 10, 15, 20 new names. But you're making it into a game. So I want to encourage you to incorporate all those things into your party, which you'll learn to do by watching parties in the field. Now, what happens after you get home from a party? That's another piece that I think takes a little bit of attention that we should talk about. You get home and you're like, oh my gosh, I sold some product. Well, things that I do, of course, you enter in your sales totals to your weekly accomplishment sheet, which we'll talk about in a money management video. I either transfer or photocopy or make note of the referrals that I got from the party. And I can send you a great referral script. So if you don't have that in hand, I've got a great one to use that you just send off to the referrals you've gotten from those parties. But don't forget that you have them. Of course, if you book a party from a party, I don't text those referrals if they're going to be her guest list for her next party. But you want to make sure that you look at those referrals and you take action on them. The other thing that I do is what's called the rule of 2 plus 2 plus 2. It's probably not the rule, but it's a good reminder in terms of checking back with the people who have been at your party. So I send a thank you note in the mail as fast as I can. And it's just a quick, hey, thanks for coming to the party. Your eyeshadow looked amazing. I'm so glad I got to meet you. It is just a piece of mail that I feel really solidifies my connection to the people who are at the party. And if they booked a party, it's my first contact. And it is I'm so excited to see you in your party on January 4th at 2 o'clock. We're going to have a blast. And just a little bit of a reference to that in case they didn't write it down or they forgot about it when they got home and they were like, did I really book a party? So I send that thank you note as quickly as I can. Within 2 weeks, maybe even less time, I send a text or I call to see how the products that they've purchased are working. You can decide if it's someone who's using Clearproof, you definitely want to check in a little bit sooner because that's a skincare product. If it's maybe a bunch of eyeshadows and cheek color, I might give them a little bit longer just to try the product. But I always check back because you can use Mary Kay's customer guarantee to return or allow a customer to return or exchange any products they don't love 150%. So you want to put that back in front of them and make sure that everything they're using is working great. And then there is the 2-month touch that can come from a party, and that is including them in your preferred customer program. So the preferred customer program is something that Mary Kay offers consultants as a tool to stay in touch with their customers. Now it's something that you can choose to use or not. I don't send it to every single customer I meet. It's more for those in that 2-week window. When I follow up, I say, hey, I have this mailing list where you get a new catalog 4 times a year. Would you like to get that catalog and stay in touch for my sales and specials? I'll let you know that you'll probably get an email, maybe a Facebook message, or a call, and you'll get a new catalog 4 times a year. So if they say yes, then I put them on that list, and then they're going to get that new catalog. Now, our catalogs come out in a really systematic way, thank goodness, because it used to be a little bit sporadic. But they come out 4 times a year in a holiday and winter edition, a spring edition, a summer edition, and a fall and holiday edition. So they come out mid-November, and then 3 months later, so December, January, February, mid-February, March, April, May, mid-May, May, June, July, June, July, August, they come out again. Sorry, you think I know my calendar. So they come out those times a year, those 4 times a year, approximately mid-month. You enroll the customers in the 30 days prior. So for the catalog, that'll come out mid-November. You send in the names and numbers through MaryKayInTouch.com. Under Business Tools is the Preferred Customer Program link, and you enroll those customers, names, address, phone numbers, all that information. And so you do that between September 16th and October 15th, and then on approximately November 15th, the catalogs arrive to your customers. So it follows that same 3-month cycle. It'll open up. Mary Kay will send you an email when enrolling customers opens up in that 30 days prior to, actually 60 days prior to the new mailer, and then it hits a deadline 30 days out. So all of that will get back in front of you, but just to let you know, it builds that relationship with your customers, and there's very few other direct sales companies that really focus on customer service like we do. And why? Because we sell a consumable product. So after I wrap up this video, I'm going to be going to wash my face, and I'm going to need to Mary Kay in a few months, and so will your customers. So it's really important to stay connected to them, and I love our Preferred Customer Program. Love it, love it, love it. The catalog includes a sample. It's mailed for right now at about 70 cents a name. Not about, it's exactly 70 cents a name. And it gets you a catalog, a sample, postage, all sent to your customers for about 1/3 of the cost as if you were to purchase that separately on your own. So it's a really, really great deal. So those are kind of all of the pieces that come out of the skincare class, except for team building. Now, team building out of your skincare class is also a process and a skill. So you play your marketing game. It's probably 10 Perfect Reasons or Mrs. Cab or What's in My Bag. There's lots of them out there. You just have to pick one and stick to it. As a new consultant, I would highly recommend that you work one-on-one with me to talk about each person that you've had hear a little bit about the company. What's the next step? Could they listen to a video link? The 15-minute ones that we have out there are great. Or Your Future Is Now, which is an awesome video, a little bit longer, that they can listen to and really get the full details. When do you plan to follow up with them? I offer a lot of times just a little incentive for them watching the video, and it could be a free eyeshadow, it could be a classic product, it could be a hand cream, it could be tied to the current promotion that we have going on in our national area. And those change about every 2 to 3 months, so just ask me or check your email or Facebook. I'm sure you'd have the details on how that would work. And so you can offer that to them as well, just more entries into that drawing, or more opportunities to win something that's being given away throughout our national area or perhaps our unit. And so setting up that follow-up, If I'm giving away a free eye color, I'm like, hey, can we get back together so you can choose your free eye color, and I can get your feedback on the little video I'm going to text to you so you can go ahead and watch it on your phone or on your computer, whatever is easier. And so it's setting up that next step. And as you are